Hi guys, welcome. Today we're in Germany, we're at the island of Sylt, and it's all about the introduction of the new range of ISONICs. I'm sure you have a lot of questions about it, so let's ask a specialist. Let me introduce you to Nico.
Hi guys, I will, together with Marco, introduce you to the new ISONIC range.
Compared to last year, there have been several changes. As you can see on the web, several dimensions have been changed, like the 60, the 63, the 77 and the 85 have all quite some different shapes compared to the previous year. This specific board, it's the 67. We can have a further look in a little while, but first I would like to ask Nico a few questions about the differences compared to the last board. Nico, I remember from last year, 2022, that the foot straps went back a little bit more. And of course even the cutout has changed. How is this compared to the newest model? It's similar changes?
Exactly, so these are the main changes that we introduced in 2022 to some of the other sizes. And we tested the same concept on these sizes, and obviously there's a few minor readjustments. You can't copy it one-to-one. Yeah. And we focused on of course on the two strong wind boards, because in the PWA more and more the foil is taking over. So we had to improve a lot the winds for strong wind, meaning the 60 and the 63. Where, as you said, we changed the shape of the tail. Maybe we can look at it straight away. Yeah. And because this is what we call the outline here, and this is what we call the tug line. And what we did is we made the outline wider, but we kept the tug line the same. So you stand further outside, which normally seems like a thing that helps you to improve the low end, but somehow it improved the high end. And it's the same concept as we introduced last year, where the idea is that the board, once you start railing, the windward rail comes up, and the leeward rail starts engaging into the water, and it can't go any further. There's a point of resistance here because it's wider, and so therefore the nose doesn't fly away. There's like a point where it stops, and that's like sort of the perfect point of the to keep the board on the rail, the board on the fin.
So thank you for the explanation. I noticed this myself on the 73. So this means these improvements on the 22 boards for 73 are now also in these new 23 boards.
Exactly. So then you have of course, as you mentioned, there's two small boards, 60, 63, and the 77 and the 83. So just because we foil now most of the time in light wind, doesn't mean we don't improve the big boards anymore.
Actually, I have a question about it, because I have quite some acquaintances, some friends in the Netherlands who always windsurf on shallow water. And there are two reasons not to foil. Because the spot doesn't allow to foil, and they're still not, let's say, interested in go foiling. I like the 85, but sometimes it could help if you have, let's say, better low wind capabilities. Is there any changes for this specifically?
Yeah, so actually, I mean, as you mentioned, we moved the foot strap further back. You can't just move the foot strap further back, because then, the board flies too much and it's not balanced. And in combination with the wider tail, it works very nicely. So wider tail allows you, for example, to use a bigger fin. So that means you can control the bigger fin. If you just put a bigger fin, but you keep the same width on the tail, you cannot control the fin, because it provides too much power and too much lift. So therefore you can use a bigger fin, therefore you have a more low end on the board. But at the same time, as I explained before, even in the high end, when you get powered up, the board doesn't fly away, so you have a bigger wind range.
Cool. That's really cool, because I speak from my personal experience, and it actually works. To be honest, and people watching the video, when I read the brochure, foot strap back, cutout changed, my first impression was, well, let's see about it, because it seems detailed, but I have to admit it actually works. So I'm really looking forward to test the new boards, and especially even the big boards, because most people, when it's high wind, they focus on small boards, but to my experience, it's a lot of fun to use a medium and even a big board as well. I noticed that already in the last years the mast tech position changed, it did not actually change, but it's a bit smaller compared to, let's say, the older boards.
Yeah.
There are many windsurfers in the Netherlands who still use the grey ones, ISONICs, the 2011s up to 2020. What is the advantage of having a small foot mast plate?
So first off, actually, it did move back a little bit as in line with the foot straps. So everything is a bit further back, because you cannot just move the foot strap back, because then it comes out of balance. So, but the main two advantages of having the small base is, first of all, weight. So you have less material, so you save quite a bit of weight. Okay. And the other main idea behind it is to not give too big of a range to trim, because if you have a mast base this big, if you put the base all the way to the front, it just does not work. So basically on this board, you can put the base anywhere on the mast base and it will work. While when you have a big mast base, you sort of tell people like, hey, you have all this range to use, but you shouldn't actually use all the range. So we limit it to where it's actually usable.
Cool. Okay, thanks a lot for explaining. I forgot actually one board. I have some experience with the 55.
Yeah.
Is it true that it's comparable with the 63? It is just like a smaller version of it? Is that my correct understanding?
Yes, exactly. So it's a super small slalom board, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
And I know many guys are interested to test it because it can achieve quite some, let's say, high speeds and a lot of control. So I would encourage them just to have a look and see the website, what kind of other boards are available from the Starboard and the ISONIC range. Did I miss anything for the new range?
Well, so generally about the ISONIC, we talked a lot about improvements we did, but I think generally important to mention about the ISONIC is the amazing construction, which is a carbon reflex. It's a bit pricier than most of the boards out there, but it's also way lighter. So this is probably 500 grams lighter than any other slalom board on the market, and therefore it provides you with a nice light feel, of course, when you carry it around, but also higher top speed ability. At the same time, it's extremely stiff, so you have a very direct feel, a direct response from the water. And then we also have the carbon sandwich construction, which is a little bit more heavy duty and much more affordable.
All right, so let's say price is less important and we just take the comfort of the board. Is it my correct understanding that the carbon version is maybe more easy to maintain in heavy chop compared to the carbon reflex because it's a bit stiffer, or is it?
Yes, yeah, the carbon reflex is definitely stiffer, so therefore for a really high-end user, as we do in competitions, for sure you can get more out of the board, but the carbon sandwich is a little bit smoother, so to say.
Okay.
But I mean, in general, I think to me the ISONICs are the smoothest boards out there. They really swallow the chop. You don't feel it as much. So it's a very nice, soft riding sensation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would say thanks a lot, Nico, for your explanation. Thank you for having me here at Zilt, at this beautiful location. If you have any questions, go online or send me a message on WhatsApp, and please have a look at the videos of the new boards.